10 best places to travel on a budget. Who doesn't like to travel? Exploring new places and new cultures is what we all love to do. However, sometimes we all tend to search for offers to do that. And of course, the first thing we search about is whether the place you're planning to go to is budget friendly. In this list, we've gathered some of the best places to travel on budget. If you're planning on going somewhere but don't know exactly where, then we got you. Number 1. Central America. Overshadowed by its more touristic southern neighbor, Central America is often overlooked as a top travel destination. With airlines flying direct from the US, you can often find yourself landing right in the heart of the continent for around $100. From here, it's easy to jump on the dirt cheap buses to navigate your way around, allowing you to immerse yourself in the Central American culture, which is still very much alive and well. Central America has maintained a cultural richness which has been stripped away from much of South America. While it still hosts a bustling tourism industry, you're likely to find yourself the only foreigner aboard your bus alongside locals strumming guitars and friendly characters up for chat in Espanol. The people of Central America are worth visiting in their own right. Friendliness abounds from Nicaragua to Belize. Everyone here is up for a chat and happy to help out, from your taxi driver to the man working the 80-cent tortilla stand. Number 2. Cambodia. When the sun rises over Angkor Wat, it's easy to understand why the citizens of the ancient city of Angkor considered their leaders to be gods. The rising sun reflects off the massive stone temple complex and the thick green jungle that surrounds it, creating awesome hues of purple and blue and almost otherworldly glow. It's no wonder that Angkor Wat draws 2 million visitors every year, but the incredible ancient site isn't the only site worth visiting in Cambodia. In fact, this Southeast Asian country is so full of wonder, it should go right to the top of your bucket list. It's affordable, beautiful, and the locals are incredibly hospitable. You can get a private air-conditioned room for $20, street food for $2, and transportation across the country for $20. If you're spending close to $50 a day, you are living large. Number 3. China. It's hard to know what China is like without actually traveling there. Home to a fifth of the world's population, China has so much to offer for everyone and will be sure to provide a memorable experience. Chinese civilization dates back thousands of years, and while their turbulent modern history colored and even destroyed some cultural perspectives, there is still much to see and learn. While the days of China being a super cheap destination are long gone, the country remains a budget destination and one of the cheapest in Asia, but with a caveat. You need to get out of the big cities. Sure, the cities are still a bargain. Hostels cost less than $20 a day, food is $2 to $5 per meal, and local transportation in cities runs less than $1. Number 4. South Korea. South Korea is a place that has been around for thousands of years. Along with that lifespan comes just as much history that details how the country came to be what it is today. If you're a history buff, it's well worth taking the time to visit a museum or two to learn about it. In addition, there are plenty of religious sites including temples, palaces, and tombs that you can visit to learn about past rulers and other important events in the history of the country. You can even visit an entire city of Gyeongju, which is essentially a museum within itself. If you go out for Korean barbecue complete with drinks, you will spend a cool $8. You can pick up bottles of beer in 7-Eleven for less than $1. Trains are cheap, everything is cheap, plus it's fun and different. If you're looking for a budget trip to Asia, visit South Korea. Number 5. India. India as a country has always had one of the most valuable historical significances in the entire world. The range of meticulously built architecture on India travel packages, including forts, palaces, and other archaeological sites, provide a perfect getaway for the design enthusiasts. History-oriented audience? Or contemporary art form seeking audience? Well, there's nothing to worry. Home to the oldest ruins, India has a natural blend of the ancient monuments and the modern form of art and architecture. That's because history hues in every direction are India's best things. While always a cheap country, the India rupee used to ride high at 39 rupees to the US dollar. Now you get 73 rupees to the dollar. That's nearly 50% more money to travel with. Unless you book 5-star resorts and eat only Western meals, you'll find it hard to spend $50 a day there. You can get by on closer to $30 by staying in cheap guest houses, taking second-class trains, and avoiding Western food. Number 6. Romania. The country where Dracula existed certainly has no shortage of brilliant landscapes and jaw-dropping castles hidden on rocky hilltops. The Bran Castle has the incredibly spurious connection to Stroker's narrative, but other places such as Peles Castle or 14th century Corvin Castle are equally unique. Romania has an immense amount of undistributed forest as well as the largest population of brown bears in the whole of Europe, being a brilliant destination for nature lovers. Most people who have heard of Transylvania are familiar with the name because of Dracula, but this part of the country is home to some villages that remain unaffected by modern civilization, looking like they did 2 or 3 centuries ago. It's pretty known that the country is very cheap. You can literally feel like a king by spending $40 a day. Number 7. Portugal. One of the many reasons to visit Portugal is to learn about its history. It is one of the oldest countries in Europe. Lisbon is actually older than Rome and Paris. The country of Portugal was founded in 868. When visiting the country, you will hear reference to the Age of Discovery. During the 15th and 16th centuries, Portugal became a global empire. Portugal explorers colonized countries such as Brazil. The Portuguese colonial empire also consisted of Angola, Mozambique, Cape Verde in Africa, and Goa and Macua in Asia. However, it is full with beautiful beaches, wine country, stunning cliffs, delicious food, jovial locals, and historic sites, all at bargain prices. Number 8. Thailand. Every year, more and more tourists visit the land of smiles, Thailand. From white sandy beaches and terrific hotels to historic temples and mouth-watering food, there's simply too much an offer in this tropical paradise for visitors. Thailand's most impressive natural feature has got to be its beaches. With over 1,500 miles of coastline to choose from, guests are never too far from white sandy beaches made of coral shells. Also, there are over 40,000 Buddhist temples in Thailand. So no matter which part of the country you find yourself in, there have got to be temples, shrines, and pagodas for you to visit so you can better understand Buddhist culture. With a tourist trail going back decades, Thailand is the heart of backpacking in Southeast Asia, and you can get by on between $25 to $30 a day thanks to cheap guest houses, food, local buses, and attractions. If you spend all your time on the islands and in expensive accommodation, expect to pay closer to $50 a day. Number 9. Moldova. Moldova only gets 12,000 visitors per year. It is the least visited country in Europe. The people of Moldova are excited about the possibility of tourism and are therefore appreciative of and friendly towards tourists. It is the poorest country in Europe, so most things in Moldova are extremely affordable. It is an easy place to take a break from the high cost of Western Europe. It's so green, even with much of its former communist architecture, Chisinau still has a unique charm, largely because it is one of the greenest capitals in Europe. It has extensive parks and lots of beautiful countryside. When Moldova was under Russian rule, they were forced to make tons and tons of cheap, overly sweet wine. Now that they are an independent republic, some of the wineries are learning to make wine in the more traditional European way. And finally, number 10, Poland. A visit to Poland means a chance to learn so much about this country and what has, at times, been a very tragic history. If you enjoy a country with an interesting background, this is a huge reason why to visit Poland. There is no doubt about it, they have been through a lot over the decades and have come out strong at the other end. But not all of Poland's history is so dark. There are beautiful palaces, ornate churches, and some of the most picturesque towns in the world. However, because of the Cold War Poland has gone through a huge transition, it made its currency continue to have a favorable exchange rate.